Doink! Doink! Everyone's mean to me. Doink!
When last we met, I was but a pupil.
Ding!
Now I am the master.
Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh review. Tonight I'm taking a look at the Bandai S.H. Figuarts Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi from Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. And when this came up for pre-order, I was wanting an Obi-Wan figure, but Episode 1 isn't really my favorite. I think if I had to pick one, it would be Episode 2, kind of the longer hair, kind of, more hippie. And I even like the Episode 3 better than the Episode 1. It's just, I don't care for the Padawan braid and the just short cropped hair. But Obi-Wan was the best part of the prequels, just throughout. McGregor did a fantastic job of just channeling Alec Guinness. So I gotta love him. But with the release of Darth Maul, we had to have this version of Obi-Wan. Now as far as packaging goes, Bandai has returned to the silver on the outside of the box. With the Force Awakens stuff, it was kind of a copper look. Side of the package has pretty picture. Back of the package has action shots, stuff I can't read. And then, some silver highlights, more stuff that I don't know. But the big thing here, I'm going to get him out of the package and see how he holds up. And there we go, out of the package. Initial thought is that he is pretty damn awesome. The sculpting all over is fantastic. The wrinkles in the pants, not overdone. They're very realistic. The texture on the tunic and the sleeves, it's subtle. It doesn't just stand out at you. You have to get up close, see it. It's, again, realistic. The pouches, the belts, even the paints. The paints, just nicely separated. The belt actually looks like a piece of leather with the pouches and the metal buckles. Every time you pick them up and move them around, there's something else to look at. You get up to the head and just, it's weird. It's kind of creepy how realistic it is. And I keep saying realistic, I know, but that's just the way. It's like holding a little mini human. And I know in pictures, the 3D printing of the face looks weird. But in person, it's very smooth, very blended in. Now, they went with the gold again up on top to kind of give it, I know what they're going for, the sheen of hair, but it's kind of distracting. And when you look at pictures of Obi-Wan from Episode 1, his hair is kind of a brownish, darker color. So the gold, I can appreciate the effort, but it just doesn't work. Also, to kind of blend it in, to make it look like the hair is growing from the head, I guess that's the purpose of bringing the brown paint into the skin tone a little bit. That is a little bit distracting, and it's hard to fix because of the color used on the skin tone. So, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't, from a distance, it's not really bad, but really up close, it's noticeable. Now, this is the kind of a calm, paying attention Obi-Wan. It's not really dynamic. It's just, it's just there. But he does come with a second head sculpt. Out of all the figure arts I've had so far, this is the easiest so far that has to exchange the heads. It just pops on, pops off. And I kind of like the angrier. It's not, well, I say angrier because he's furrowed brow, but he's more intense, I guess you could say. And that's the head sculpt I prefer. A little more dynamic, I guess. I like that the sleeve here, the hang-down sleeve, is hollow inside. You can see his actual shirt sleeve underneath. That's just a cool little detail that I really like. Now, to get into the articulation, there is a ball joint at the head. It's on kind of a swivel. So you get up and down at the top of the head, then you swivel, and then there's also a ball at the bottom of the neck. So you get a little bit of extra range right there. So he can tilt forward. He can look up, and then you get some nice tilt out of it. The shoulders, it's a ball going into a butterfly joint. You can get forward and back, and the tunic is a soft material, so it doesn't really get in the way. You can kind of up, kind of down. Now, inside of that, there's another ball that you can up and down with it, and then it rotates around. And then on top of all that, there's a bicep swivel. It's kind of hard to maneuver because of it wants to twist at the top too. So you get this kind of, it's fluid, and it blends in nicely for being a baggy sleeve. It's not segmented all the way down. You can see the cuts, but it's just it's all little pieces of a whole. There's a single hinge at the elbow, and you can get past 90. When you have the elbow bent, you have a swivel there too. You don't want to get too crazy with it because it tries to stay inside this cup. But with all the swivels up here, it's not really necessary for that to swivel. At the wrist, you have the usual Bandai ball where it swivels at the top and at the hand. So you can get the hinge to either move up and down or side to side, depending on how you pop the hand on. Comparing this to older Figuarts Star Wars figures, there's not as much range of movement here. I guess because of the sleeve, and the hand kind of pops down over the ball. So you get some, but it's not as much as like Darth Maul or the Troopers or, the rest of them. There's a double ball going down behind the belt, so you get a range of torso movement. The hips are on a ball, and then with a swivel in the same spot, so you get forward, and the skirt is a nice soft material too, so it doesn't hinder coming up or going back. The only thing about the skirt is it's easy to get it overlapping the wrong way. So you have to kind of fix that when you get crazy with the legs. There is a shift down to the leg. You can make it a little bit longer, and you get a little bit more range of movement there. You have a single knee, but it comes back about that far. Pretty good range of movement. There's also a swivel there. A ball at the ankle. You can get some side to side. Not as much as some of the others, but it's still, it's still usable. Then you get back and forward, and then the hinge at the toe. Now for accessories, he comes with the two fists. He has those on in the package. They work well. They look like fists. He has the two grip hands that are closed. The thumb is sculpted to the fingers, and the lightsabers actually accommodate that. We'll get to that in a second. He has two splayed open hands. They double duty as, either dueling hands or force hands. And then he comes with a set that is more force-like. His right hand, it's kind of using the force. And then he has the P-Sun left hand. This was used, I believe, in episode 3 when he was fighting Grievous. I can't remember him using it in Duel of the Fates. I like it. The little bunny foo-foo hand, I don't know. It's humorous, but it's also something that I didn't have before. So that's a nice addition. Now, unlike the last few Figuarts I've gotten, the hands are fairly easy to pop. They just pop right off, and you can put on the splayed open hand, and it stays on. The only set I have a problem with are the grip hands for the lightsabers. The hole is at an angle. The hole actually goes up into the thumb. So it's a little bit tricky to get on there. It's a little bit tight, but it does go on if you angle the peg up towards the thumb instead of trying to shove the thing straight on, because the bottom of the hand snags the sleeve. For other accessories, he comes with a lightsaber hilt deactivated. It's got a small peg on it, and that plugs right into a hole on his belt. That works really well. He comes with his own lightsaber, but like I said, the hand has the thumb sculpted to the fingers. So for Obi-Wan's lightsaber, the pommel pops off, so you can put this through the hole in his hand. Now the pommel is really small, and the peg hole and the peg both have a flat side on it, so you have to kind of line those up to get it back together. It's not difficult, just don't lose that. That being in carpet, that would be a disaster. And he's not dropping it. It's not going to fall out of the hand. Like I said, because of the sleeve, you can't really get the lightsaber out straight. So that's one downfall. It's not a terrible thing, but it does look good in two-handed poses. And then finally, he does come with Qui-Gon Jinn's lightsaber. It's nicely sculpted. It has a nice paint job on it, silver with the red button. Now, It doesn't have a flared out pommel, so there's no removable piece here to put it in the grip hand. Here's the Figuarts Obi-Wan with the Episode 3 Black Series Obi-Wan. Sizes, the Black Series is a little bit larger, but overall, I'm good with the size of the Figuarts. But as far as everything else, sculpt, articulation, detail, paint, the Figuarts is just superior. There's no arguing that. And then here's the biggie. Here's the money shot. Here he is with Figuarts Darth Maul. Fantastic. These fit together really, really well. These two figures were meant to go together. I love it. So at the end of the day, I am just completely happy with this purchase. Like I said at the first, I wasn't as excited for the Episode 1 Obi-Wan. Now after messing around with them, posing them, playing with them, completely happy. Do I still want the Episode 2 and 3 Obi-Wan? Definitely. Bring them on. The one thing that worries me here, I'm afraid that the Episode 2 and 3 Obi-Wan heads may come packed with another figure. But if his head comes with another figure, then you have to go back and track down another one of these. So I'm hoping if they do another Obi-Wan in the future, it's a full figure. With Figuarts schedule, I don't want to have to come back in a year and a half and try to find this figure again. But as it is right now, it looks like there's a strong chance that the next figure in the line will be Tatooine Luke. Again, I'm completely good with that. I need that figure. But I need a lot of figures too. I just wish Bandai would pick up the schedule, start pumping out the figures. As far as Obi-Wan goes, just great. I can't wait for Mace now, if it's on this same body. If you can, go out and buy him. The face, it's better in person. Just don't look at the pictures and go, that's nasty. Believe me. So if you like the review, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the Fwoosh. And I'm a little more forgiving of this. Actually, I kind of like it like this. It's his, lounging around the base kind of look. But if you wanted to go one step further, he does break apart at the waist too. Comes apart, belt comes off, and you can actually take these off the pegs if you really wanted to. You end up with something kind of like this. Now the belt is loose, so because of the robes not being underneath it, so there's a lot of gap right there. Now, this comes down to allowing you to put maybe the Black Series cloth robe on there.